Somewhere in the Nevada desert, behind locked hangars and silent runways, the US is building a fighter no one is allowed to see. Most countries are still trying to build sixth-generation jets. The US is quietly working on Generation 7. What fighter gets labeled an insurance policy against extinction? Let's find out, and by the time this video ends, you'll understand why the next war might be won or lost before a pilot ever touches the controls. Chapter 1. The Era of Invisible Combat. To understand how we get to a 7th-gen fighter, you need to understand how the battlefield has changed. Air combat used to be about speed, guns, and guts. Pilots fought where everyone could see each other. Then came stealth. Not faster, but invisible. The F-117 proved you could destroy a target before anyone knew you were there. The B-2 proved you could break into the most protected airspace on Earth and walk out untouched. The F-22 proved stealth could win a dogfight before the enemy even saw it coming. But stealth alone isn't enough anymore. New radars see farther, new missiles reach higher, and almost every major rival is pouring billions into air defenses designed specifically to hunt American stealth aircraft. So the question became simple. What happens when the world learns how to detect stealth? Chapter 2. Ghost Aircraft. Around 2016, something strange started happening. Commercial pilots flying near classified airspace began reporting aircraft that didn't make sense. No radar signature, blending into the sky, flying in ways that didn't match anything known. Some said it was a new bomber, some said it was a drone. Others believed it wasn't a machine at all, just a mirage or electronic trick. But every time, NORAD and the Air Force refused to comment. What most people didn't know was this. While the world talked about 5th-generation fighters like the F-35, the US military was already funding the Next Generation Air Dominance Project, NGAD, a program that quietly evolved into something much bigger. The goal wasn't to make a better F-22. The goal was to make something that could survive a war against China, Russia, hypersonic missiles, AI-directed swarms, and future weapon systems no pilot has ever trained for. A fighter that doesn't just hide from radar, a fighter that breaks radar. So how do you design an aircraft that beats weapons that haven't even been invented yet? That answer leads to something the Air Force has never admitted publicly, but insiders keep hinting at. A fighter that thinks for itself. Chapter 3. The Brain of a Machine. Right now, pilots fly the aircraft. They manage the radar, the sensors, the weapons, the navigation, all at once. But a 7th-generation fighter flips that logic. The aircraft flies the mission. The pilot becomes the supervisor. Every surface, every weapon, every sensor feeds into a digital brain that reacts faster than any human ever could. Not autopilot, not a drone. Something closer to a co-pilot that never gets tired, never panics, and never loses focus. If a missile launches, it doesn't panic. It reacts immediately. If an enemy tries to lock on with radar, it simply slips out of sight. And if drones in the sky need instructions, it becomes their commander without a single pilot saying a word. Right now, in classified simulations, autonomous flight systems are already beating human pilots in dogfights. Not because they think better, but because they make decisions faster than any human brain possibly can. A pilot needs a second to react. A machine needs a fraction of that. And here's the question that keeps military analysts awake at night. What happens when that kind of speed and automation is built into a stealth fighter? Think of a plane that can go where it needs to go, tell drones what to do, avoid getting detected, and react instantly when things go wrong. That's not a movie script. That's the starting point of what a 7th-generation aircraft is supposed to be. A fighter that thinks for itself, fights with drones at its side, and moves too fast, digitally and physically, for a human to match. Chapter 4. The fighter the Pentagon tried to hide. When the Air Force first asked Congress for money to build a new fighter, it didn't even use the words fighter jet. The program was buried under vague titles like Next Air Dominance Initiative and Penetrating Counter-Air. Anytime someone asked what it was, the documents just went silent. Why so much secrecy? Because the last time the US announced a game-changing aircraft, the F-117, Other nations spent decades trying to copy it. This time, the Pentagon wanted a decade-long head start. No photos, no details, not even a proper name. At one point, funding for the fighter was spread across multiple budgets, so no single committee could see the whole picture. When journalists dug deeper, officials simply used the phrase, "national survival priority." What kind of aircraft do you need to hide from your own allies, contractors, and Congress? Whatever the 7th-gen fighter is, the US didn't just want to build it. They wanted to make sure no one else even knew what to copy. Chapter 5. The engine that shouldn't exist. Before any wings were drawn or weapons selected, engineers hit a different problem. Current jet engines were reaching their physical limits. To fly farther, faster, and quieter, the new fighter needed a power plant that didn't exist yet. So the US quietly launched a second secret program, adaptive cycle engines. These aren't normal turbofans. They don't just suck in air and burn fuel. They reshape their airflow in real time. During high-speed flight, the engine behaves like a sprinter. It squeezes the airflow, ramps up the pressure, and creates a burst of extra thrust. When the jet settles into cruise mode, that same engine relaxes the airflow and burns less fuel, almost like switching from sprinting to jogging to save energy. And when the fighter needs to slip into enemy airspace without being noticed, the system changes again, cooling the exhaust and shaping the airflow, so heat-seeking satellites and infrared sensors struggle to see it. One engine, doing the job of 3 different propulsion systems. That's the magic of adaptive propulsion. Here's the wild part. For years, this technology was locked behind doors in temperature-sealed bunkers. Engineers worked on it, but weren't even told what aircraft it would power. Then in 2023, the Pentagon finally said it out loud. This technology is mandatory for next-generation air dominance. In simple words, if a country doesn't have adaptive engines, it can't field a true 6th or 7th generation fighter. The future of air combat won't just be about stealth or weapons. The edge begins with propulsion. A fighter that can sprint, cruise, and disappear, all with the same engine, changes everything. Chapter 6. The pilots unlike any before. Here's something unexpected. Future fighter pilots won't be chosen the same way current ones are. Today, pilots train for dogfights, missile evasion, and close-range combat. But a 7th-gen fighter won't fight that way. It won't pull 9G turns looking for another jet in the sky. It will fight from distances where opponents don't even know they're dying. So pilot training was rewritten. New pilots are being taught cyber warfare, electronic disruption, and long-range strategy. Some spend more time in secure computer labs than in cockpits. They simulate wars fought across satellite networks, radar bubbles, and digital blind spots. An old-school ace pilot might be deadly in a dogfight, but a 7th-gen operator could win without ever seeing the enemy. This aircraft doesn't just need pilots, it needs tacticians. People who understand intelligence networks, missile grids, and electronic terrain. A battlefield you can't see with human eyes. Chapter 7. Factories that look like science labs. You can't build a 7th-generation fighter in a normal aircraft factory. Rivets, screws, welding. Those leave seams and heat signatures that sensors can pick up. So the US started constructing new hangars where parts are molded, not bolted. Entire wing sections come out as a single piece, made from advanced alloys and classified composites. Workers don't hammer metal. They cure materials in vacuum furnaces. Every measurement in these facilities is digital. Nothing is cut or shaped by guesswork. Parts are scanned in 3 dimensions. Surfaces are inspected down to the microscopic level. And even the paint thickness is measured by sensors instead of human hands. If you walked into one of these buildings, you wouldn't think you were inside an aircraft factory at all. It feels more like a lab where satellites are born, or a clean room where spacecraft are assembled. No noise, no clutter, just technicians in full protective suits. Robots moving components with precision most people will never see, and machines checking the same part over and over again until it's perfect. And here's the strange part. Nobody outside the program knows how many of these factories actually exist. The Air Force refuses to say. Some analysts think there are 2. Others say 5. A few believe there may be more, hidden inside restricted bases and underground hangars. The only thing that's publicly confirmed is that construction has accelerated far faster than the Pentagon originally projected. Something huge is being built, and it's being built at scale. Chapter 8. The world starts to panic. The strangest part about the 7th generation fighter is this. There's no blueprint, no photos, no public model. And yet other nations are terrified of it. Within months of the Pentagon confirming the program, defense agencies in Russia, China, France, the UK, India, and Japan all announced next-generation fighter studies. Not because they knew what the US had, because they didn't. In military strategy, fear of the unknown is sometimes more powerful than knowledge. China responded first. Their state media warned that a new American air dominance project threatened the balance of power in the Pacific. Suddenly, China rushed work on its J-20 upgrades and began designing its own stealth drone fleets. Russia made similar moves, with talk of a Su-70 successor program, even though their economy was struggling to fund basic aircraft. None of these countries have even finished building their 5th or 6th gen fleets, and now they're being told a 7th gen fighter might arrive before they catch up. That's what real power looks like. It forces your enemies to spend money faster than they plan. But the more these nations tried to catch up, the more a different kind of war began. One fought in silence, on the internet, inside classified networks. Chapter 9. The spy war you never hear about. Whenever the US builds something this advanced, someone tries to steal it. The moment the 7th generation fighter program began, cyber attacks against American defense companies suddenly spiked. Engineers received strange emails pretending to be job offers. Fake aerospace recruiters appeared online. Malware was hidden in files sent to aircraft designers. Even encrypted servers storing propulsion research were targeted. Someone wanted secrets, blueprints, stealth codings, engine data, anything. But here's the twist. The Pentagon expected it. Instead of only defending the program, they turned it into a hunting ground. Networks were seeded with decoy files, fake schematics, fake design specs, even entire fake sub-projects. Anyone who tried to steal them ended up wasting months chasing useless data. And each hack attempt was traced, tracked, and mapped, quietly exposing who was behind it. What looked like an aircraft project was also an intelligence operation. The 7th gen fighter hasn't even entered full service, yet it's already scored its first victory. The United States didn't just protect its secrets, it used the aircraft to identify the people trying to steal them. The jet designed to dominate the sky has already dominated the digital battlefield. Chapter 10. The Navy wants one too. There's a detail that barely anyone talks about. The 7th generation fighter isn't just an Air Force project. Somewhere along the way, the US Navy quietly stepped in and said, yeah, we need that too. And it actually makes sense. Flying stealth over land is one thing. You can hide behind terrain, mountains, buildings, even weather. But out at sea, there's nothing to hide behind. The ocean is a flat radar mirror stretching for thousands of kilometers. If you're visible, you're visible. A 7th gen naval fighter changes that equation. It can lift off from a carrier, disappear into the sky, travel deep into hostile airspace, strike, and return without anyone ever knowing it was there. That's a nightmare for any country building coastal defenses. But here's the real reason the Navy wants in. Carriers are giant targets. Nations like China and Russia have spent years building missiles specifically designed to sink them from long distance. If one of those missiles ever gets through, that's not just a ship lost, that's an entire airbase gone. So imagine it, the Air Force shaping the battle from above, the Navy controlling the oceans below, and a fighter that connects both worlds. That's not just air superiority, that's global reach, the kind of power that prevents wars before they start. Chapter 11. The war game that changed everything. In 2020, inside a sealed room with no phones, no cameras, and guards at every door, the Pentagon ran a classified war game. It simulated a full-scale conflict in the Indo-Pacific, the kind of war strategists pray never becomes real. Generals, analysts, and intelligence officers watched it unfold in real time. And when the simulation ended, everyone in that room felt the same cold shock. The United States lost. Not because American pilots were outmatched, but because the jets they would be flying simply couldn't survive long enough to reach the fight. Modern missile networks reached farther than expected. Anti-stealth radars tracked aircraft through narrow frequencies. Satellites spotted refueling tankers long before stealth jets ever got near the target. Stealth alone wasn't enough anymore. Speed wasn't enough either. In the war game, every fighter the US has today was treated like an asset with an expiration clock. If it couldn't adapt mid-fight, couldn't control drones, couldn't blind enemy sensors, or couldn't make itself vanish again, it died. When the briefing reached the Secretary of Defense, one decision was made instantly. The timeline for America's next fighter was no longer a 50-year plan. It was an emergency. And here's the terrifying conclusion the simulation revealed. Whoever controls the skies in the first 48 hours of a future war controls everything that happens afterward. Air dominance wasn't just an advantage anymore, it was survival. That was the moment the seventh-generation fighter stopped being a future project and officially became America's insurance policy. Chapter 12. The aircraft America might never sell. Whenever the United States builds advanced aircraft, there's always one question. Which allies will get it? The F-35 went to NATO partners. The F-15 and F-16 are flown in dozens of countries. US fighters guard the skies of Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. But behind closed doors, Pentagon officials are saying something very different about the seventh-generation fighter. It may never be exported. Not to NATO, not to Japan, not even to America's closest friends. Because selling a weapon this advanced means accepting a dangerous possibility that one day it ends up in the wrong hands. Maybe a spy infiltrates a base. Maybe a government gets overthrown. Maybe a hacker gains access to maintenance software. Maybe a politician leaks secrets without realizing it. Every country has weaknesses. Every alliance has history. Every military has insiders who can be bought. And there's an even bigger reason the US stays quiet. For the first time in decades, Washington wants a weapon that no one else on Earth can match. A jet that can see every enemy, jam every signal, outrun every missile, and command an entire swarm of unmanned aircraft. That's not just hardware, that's control of the sky itself. If the seventh-generation fighter truly becomes real, it won't just be another aircraft on a runway. It will be the most valuable military secret of the 21st century. And some secrets are simply too dangerous to share. So that's the reality. The future of air combat won't look like Top Gun. No dramatic dogfights, no close flybys. It'll be silent, fast, and decided by machines that think in milliseconds. If you want more deep dives into future weapons and stealth tech, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment on what you want next. Hypersonic bombers, drone swarms, or the secret space planes no one admits exist.